Following Monday's victory, Oilers head coach Dave Tippett mentioned that his team wasn't as sharp as they needed to be. Well, despite that, they came out with a winning result as they continue their three-game homestand by welcoming in the Nashville Predators on Wednesday night. Welcome to the Oilers TV live pregame show. I'm your host, Tony Barr. Thanks for making us a part of your morning. Now, Nashville's playing in the second half of a back-to-back. They were in Calgary last night, came out with a 3-2 overtime victory, courtesy of Matt Duchene. Now, another goal scorer for them, Philip Forsberg. Now, he did leave the game with an apparent injury. We'll try to see if we can get an update on that for the Oilers Today pregame report coming out later this morning. So it's the Oilers looking for their third consecutive victory, and Predators coming in hot, winning 4 straight as we tee up tonight's action.
Hey Connor, I just wanted to ask you about your power play, and obviously it's going really well again this year. What ingredients do you think there are that work so well together that just allow it to click the way it does?
Well, I think, we've been together for a long time, so we know where each other are going to be at. Gully does a great job of putting the structure in place, and we're really good in the structure, but I think we're real good off of loose pucks and plays off of shots and all that type of stuff. So the power play's been good so far. Obviously, it needs to keep going.
Just the natural development of it. You start playing together as a group, and maybe it takes a little bit of time for those set plays to just automatically be there. How long did it take for that? And do you feel that that's a big part of it? Is just this natural instinct of knowing when things are setting up?
Well, I think the power play, a lot of it is just creativity. I don't think set plays work a ton. I think it's a good place to start, if you want to draw one up off a face-off, but I think you just kind of have to play after that. I think Gully always talks about, painting the same picture and putting ourselves in good spots and, trying to be inside the dots and whatnot. So, like I said, lots been made about the power play. There's not really not much to tell you there. We've played together a long time, and there's good players on the ice that make good plays. That's just what it is.
Connor, Jesse has taken a quantum step forward here over the last year or so. At times it appears he's still a little bit deferential and wants to give you the puck back right when he's got a chance and to walk down Main Street. Can you maybe speak to, do you talk to him and say, hey man, don't be afraid to shoot the puck, you don't have to give it back to me all the time?
Yeah, we're always talking. He's a guy that has really worked at his game and still works at his game hard, and he wants he still wants to get me the puck, and obviously I appreciate that, but there's times for him to shoot it, and there's time for him to make plays as well. He's such a good player, and he can make his own plays, and I think that's important too.
I realize the focus is on your team, but is it a little bit different in terms of a game prep for a team like Nashville that you haven't played in a couple seasons, as opposed to maybe some of the Canadian-based teams that you saw a lot of last year?
Yeah, I think there's just a little bit more diving into what they've been up to. I think Nashville's a team we haven't seen in a long time, and they've kind of done a full overhaul since we last played them. So, it's almost a brand new team for us. So, it's exciting. It's fun to play some different teams. But they're a good team. They're on a bit of a roll here, and it's a good test for us.
The record is good right now, Connor. How would you evaluate the different parts of your game and where you think your group is at in terms of firing on that top level that you want to get to?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that the record's good, but we've found ways to win different games. We've found ways to win games where we maybe shouldn't have won. I think that's a credit to the different ways we can play. I think we've gotten great goaltending. That goes a long way. Our special teams have been good. 5-on-5, we've been okay, but I find getting better over the last couple of games, and something we need to continue to work on. What's that, sorry? I know him as well as you'd expect, I guess. He's a guy that was around the room a lot, kind of when I first got here, and someone that was super welcoming to me, and obviously a very big piece of this organization, and it's a big week for him. It's an exciting week for him and his family, and for us, as Oilers.
Dave, maybe I'll just check in on the goalies and see where Mike Smith is at and what your plan is.
He's skating right now. He's not going to play tonight, but he's real close. He's still in the day-to-day mode, but just felt like he wanted another practice or a couple more practices, and he we're hoping he's going to be an option for Friday.
Of all of the elements that your power play brings, can you point to something maybe beyond the obvious skill that gives them the success that they have?
Really good players, and they've got a plan in place, but they make stuff happen that you can't draw on paper, right? There's an element just they played together a while, they understand each other, they know each of them have their little nuances on it. Nuge is a great passer. Davo can make something out of nothing. Leo can pass or shoot. Tyson Berry's done a nice job on controlling the blue line, and now we've got both Hyman and Jesse in front that do a lot of work down there. So we have a lot of good elements of it, but ultimately it comes down that we got some good players on it.
I just wonder too about the puck retrieval. Like, you've got all these good players, but they just seem to have the puck the entire time, and how much of that is about the will to retrieve it?
There's two parts of it: the puck retrieval and the ability to keep it, not just take shots that are end up in turnovers. But the other part of it is we do a pretty good job on our breakout that allows you to get in pretty successful a lot of the time. So you end up spending a lot of time in there. But they're smart players that they don't give the puck away when they don't have to. And they realize if they can recover a rebound after a shot or a loose puck, they don't have to skate all the way down to the other end and bring it up again. So smart and skill. It's a good combination.
This was a team in the past that was kind of built on defense and goaltending, defensive structure. How different is it now? And I realize the focus is on your team in terms of game prep. But you haven't seen this team for, almost 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So just a thought on what you're up against tonight with Nashville.
We just talked about it a little bit and just went through their lineup, and it's when you haven't seen players, I mean, you know the names, but you haven't seen players. They've got some young players on their team that are good players, so we went through their whole team, understand how they play and where they are. But that being said, we won Monday night, which is always good to win, but there's some areas of our game that I think can really be better. So we're really focusing on making sure we're ready to start the game. They're a team that played last night, but if you play loose, they're going to bite you. They got some skill, so we'll hopefully play accordingly.
What do you remember about Matt Benning's time here since he's on the Nashville team?
Really good. Solid person, solid player. Just, our right side was getting deeper, and he chose an opportunity to go and get where he's going to get more opportunities. So wish him nothing but the best. Really good person, solid player.
It's unusual. He's a right shot defenseman. Your team had lots of right shot defensemen. Most teams are looking for a right shot defenseman, and they got way too many left shots.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just sometimes it ends up that way,
Thank you.
Just in terms of the lineup, is Perlini coming in for Benson today?
Yeah, we're just trying to keep everybody engaged, everybody going.
The rest of the lineup will stay the same?
No, Russell will come in for Cuckoo.
Thank you.
David, in terms of that, trying to rotate guys through, is it tougher to do when you're winning because you don't want to kind of mess up the chemistry, or?
Yeah, a little bit, but we're continuing. We're still finding out about our team. There's some things that we're trying to figure out, so we'll keep tinkering.